What is up, guys? Welcome back to Horror Talk, episode 10. Today, we're covering the Alien franchise. I know it's not quite horror, but there's horror elements, and we could do a little sci-fi. But hey, here's Greg. He loves this franchise.
I disagree. I think the first movie is pure horror. That's what's so great about it.
That's like an action movie.
It's almost like a slasher movie, though. Like the first movie.
Well, the first one is.
Yeah, the second one's definitely more of an action
movie.
movie.
Let's go ahead and talk
elements.
about the first one.
First movie is groundbreaking. I love it. It's my favorite. It's we're going to say our favorite in the series. That one's easily my favorite.
My favorite, too.
I mean, it's a slasher movie, essentially. You've got one alien on this giant ship, the Nostromo, just taking out, the crew one by one. I mean, it's a classic kind of formula that adds that sci-fi element to it.
Dan O'Bannon really brought it to the table.
He really did. I mean, he really started... That movie is, considered widely to be, just an excellent movie. Just not even for, the genre. Not even for sci-fi or horror. It's considered just to be an excellent film, and I agree.
It was ahead of its time.
It definitely was. The atmosphere is just, perfect. And if you get a chance to see it on a big screen, I would definitely do that. We saw it for the 50th anniversary last year. Yeah, and it's... I've seen that movie hundreds of times, probably... And it's even better on the big screen. So I mean,
it's one of those ones you got to see if you haven't. I don't know. There's some people that still haven't seen it.
That's crazy to me that you haven't seen that movie. Because, like I said,
I have.
Even if you're a cinephile of any kind, not even horror or sci-fi, it's still just a groundbreaking film, and it was definitely worthy of your time. Even if it's maybe horror and sci-fi is not your favorite genre, but I think it's still enough of a masterpiece that you need to see this movie.
They definitely mix the two well.
Oh, definitely.
I mean,
In
space, no one can hear you scream.
That's right.
That's the slogan.
Yeah.
In Killer Clowns, they spoofed it. In space, no one can hear you eat ice cream.
That's right. Yep. It was something like that. Yep. Pretty famous tagline to that movie. So
remember they always get H.R. Giger.
The H.R. Giger art is also highly
space jockey.
Yeah, space jockey, super iconic. Just the look and feel of the film is just very iconic. I mean, it's what's not to like about it. The effects are amazing. The chest burster coming out of Kane's, out of the space jockey too. Yeah. I mean, the tension, the setup, the building to the final act.
It makes you feel really claustrophobic.
It definitely does, and there's the flashing lights and the smoke going on, and in those claustrophobic hallways. It's just a fantastic film.
And Ridley Scott, it was good to get him on it, even though he kind of watered the franchise down a little bit. We'll get to that later.
Yeah, a little later. I mean, he started off very strong.
Very strong.
Very strong.
And I think it was a really well done movie. And my favorite strong female lead, of course, is Ripley.
Oh, yeah, Ripley.
She did before it was a thing.
She was great. She was one of the first really strong female leads in... I mean, what's cool about this script, is from what I heard, is that when they wrote the characters, they didn't have a gender in mind.
Yeah.
And it just so happened that Sigourney Weaver was the perfect Ripley. I mean, it wasn't Ripley. Ripley could have been a man or a woman, but it's great that she's great in that movie. Great character. I mean, all the characters are pretty memorable, honestly.
Yeah.
Unlike all the other movies, you really I feel like you get to know the crew of the Nostromo pretty well. There's blue collar dudes, and women just trying to make a living out there, and then of course the Weyland Yutani Company, which at that time didn't have the name Weyland Yutani yet.
Oh, really?
They didn't say it. They always called it just the company in the first movie because they didn't have. But they're just trying to make a living out there, and of course, Weyland Yutani has different plans for them.
Yeah. And it's maniacal.
Which is, kind of the overarching theme of the franchise, really, is Weyland Yutani just screwing over, everyday working people to get this biological weapon.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah.
And I always liked Dallas. He was a cool character.
Yeah, he was a captain.
Tom Skerritt.
Yeah, he was great. Tom Skerritt was in it. I mean, like I said, the whole cast was...
The dinner scene and everything.
Yeah. With Kane, with the chest burster coming out, super memorable.
I heard they had to film that a bunch.
I heard that they filmed a genuine reaction. They didn't tell the actors what was going to happen exactly.
Oh,
so
really?
When the chest burster came out, it was it sprayed them with blood, and they were actually kind of freaked out. Veronica Cartwright, who plays Lambert, apparently she was actually freaking freaked out in that scene, which you can see it on her face. She didn't know what's going to happen.
Well, I love the part. It's a deleted scene where Dallas is hived up.
Oh yeah, the deleted scenes are pretty cool in that. It's too bad they couldn't add those into the original movie. Yeah, but Ripley finds after Dallas gets taken in the airlock when the alien's with him, you find out he gets cocooned on the ship, which is a really cool scene. Too bad they didn't put it in the main release, but
a lot of jump scares in that.
But the movie is effective by itself. It didn't need those extra scenes, and the pacing's about perfect. I think, like I said, it's that slow build, but then when it all cuts loose. It all cuts loose. They hit the self-destruction button on the ship, and
airlock.
It's a countdown, and exactly. So that movie's great.
Let's talk about
the sequel. I would
Aliens.
say is equally strong. Aliens. This is by
this is James
Cameron. Yes, a young James Cameron. But this movie is a little different. It's more of an action movie, like you said, with sci-fi. It kind of ditched some of the horror elements, but like just the cast of this movie's great and the writing's great. It's a really good movie. Like it's
more action.
It's definitely more action, but it's got a great cast.
Yeah,
I mean it's got Michael Biehn,
Bill Paxton,
Lance Henderson, exactly. It's fantastic. Sigourney Weaver obviously is back as Ripley, and it's a great sequel. I love that it takes place 50 years later or whatever. She was floating in space for that long, and then
of course she has a daughter.
Yeah.
She dies.
Yeah, the daughter who's already dead because she'd been floating in space and in space for so long. But excellent movie.
I like the power loaders.
Yeah, the power loaders are cool. Like obviously, like the infamous "Get away from me, you bitch" line. Like everyone knows that
iconic.
one. And then the
terraformers.
They take it. It's the same planet they landed on in the first movie, except for it's 50 years later and it's been colonized. The name of the colony was Hadley's Hope. Yeah, which they all get wiped out by the aliens. And then Carter Burke, who's played by what is that actor's name? He was in a bunch of stuff. Paul Reiser.
Okay.
Which he's a great villain because he's like this slimy little weasel who works for the company.
Yeah, he was in Mad About You.
What's funny is that when I play games with my game night group, we'll play games where like someone like is like actively against other players, but it's kind of hidden, and like we always refer to that person as the Burke. Like that's how we're like, oh yeah, we're like, yeah, sure, Burke, yeah, you're not on our side. Like that's we referenced that movie just for Burke is
But Newt, she's pretty cool.
Oh yeah,
Newt, kid, and then you get like Bishop, who we talked about, Lance Henderson.
For sure, Lance Henderson's great.
And when he crawls in that tube, that scene, that made me so claustrophobic.
I always thought that was a crazy scene. I love that he like has the flashlight and they hand him a pistol and then he just hands it back to him and just goes like, I guess no fear of dying when you're a robot. I don't know.
Yeah. But I love the Queen alien too.
I mean, that was like the big showstopper ending of this is that you got to see like the actual hive and the Queen, which looked really freaking cool. From what I understand, that was a real like puppet they actually had to make, which had to have been expensive and like time consuming and not easy to use and film. But they did it and it looks awesome.
Yeah, it was just ahead of its time, and it came out in '86. It was just one of those movies.
I remember renting this movie from Blockbuster when I was probably about 12 or 13 years old, and I had it for the weekend. I think I watched it like 3 times that first weekend because it was just so good. Like, nice. I loved it.
Yeah. It's just it's a good action science fiction movie. I just love the scene with the face huggers crawling around, jumping on the windows, and
there's a lot of really good scenes. Speaking of deleted scenes, there was a really cool deleted scene they cut from this movie where they had like the automated gun turrets that were like gunning down aliens. Oh, which that was a cool scene. Which I once again didn't make the final cut, but it's cool to see it. I did see that. Yeah, it's cool to see it.
Yeah, I love mainly the first movie, but like if I had to pick a sequel, that one's definitely.
I mean, let's be honest. The first 2 movies, in my opinion, are like excellent. I mean, there's no
can't pass.
You can't like it doesn't get better than these 2 movies. They're both excellent. I see really no flaws with either of these movies. They're both excellent movies, and it's only downhill from there. Yeah, so I mean,
get an Alien 3.
Go to Alien 3.
It's a prison planet.
Yeah, Sigourney Weaver shaving her head. I
just watched it recently, so
I haven't seen it in a few years, but I've seen it multiple times. I mean, the alien is pretty cool. It was like the facehugger got into a dog.
Yeah, and, it was like
it kind of had like dog, like kind of like dog-like features almost, as opposed to the normal ones.
They use a puppet in this.
Yeah, one. For sure.
So there was some stop motion.
There was definitely like at the end when he's covered in that like metal or whatever, that pewter. That was some really cool stop motion.
Yeah, and it was some of it's like. depressing in this movie.
It definitely is. I mean, that prison planet is not a nice place. It's like loaded with like bugs and stuff, like parasites. But also, it kind of goes back to its more horror elements in this segment because they're like prisoners, so they don't really have any real weapons. And there's only one alien again. So once again, it's kind of stalking them. Yeah, they just have to use whatever improvised weapons they have to try to defeat this xenomorph.
Yeah, it was just really cool. I loved the whole Bishop when you see Bishop.
Yeah, I was saying Lance
like,
Henderson was in it again. He's like, been cut in half from the second movie when the Queen tore him in half, and then Ripley plugs him back in to get some info off of him, which was a cool scene.
Yeah, that was really awesome.
Yeah,
really good puppetry. I'm trying to think. What else did you like from that movie?
I mean, the ending's pretty cool. I mean, spoiler alert for this movie that came out in like 1993, but where Ripley basically knows she's infected with the Queen. I don't know if she knew it was the Queen, but she knew she was infected.
It was definitely an alien.
It was definitely. Well, I always thought it was the Queen. Like,
you think so?
I thought so. Maybe I'm wrong, but like I always assumed it was a new Queen, and she knew it, and then so she just offs herself by like falling into that lava. That was pretty cool.
Yeah.
And then you see
you
see Lance Henderson as his second role, who was actually like the actual human Bishop.
Yeah.
He's at the end of that. He comes to try to like convince Ripley to, hey, you have a valuable thing inside of you. And
he was working for Whalen.
Yeah, he was. Yeah. Well, Bishop Whalen. He was Bishop Whalen.
Yeah,
so
that's right.
yes,
He was Whalen.
Exactly. So yeah, I always thought that was a cool ending. She sacrificed herself so the aliens could be destroyed.
And it was really well done, even though it was a
good
little
movie.
depressing.
Like I said, not as good as the first two, but it's still pretty good.
That was directed by David Fincher.
Okay, yeah. I couldn't remember who did that one.
Yeah. It's not as memorable as the first two.
No, definitely not. Like I said, the first two are kind of on a tier of their own, I think.
Alright, on to Alien Resurrection.
Resurrection. This movie's a lot of fun. Like, it's not great.
You haven't seen it
in
a while.
I haven't seen it, but I've seen it multiple times.
Yeah.
Like, so Ripley gets cloned, I guess, because she had the alien in her, and I guess they somehow...
Clone her.
They never explain how they got her out of the fire, or like how they got her DNA to clone her, I don't think. I haven't seen it in a long time, but they make her a clone, and it's a whole different crew of people. It's got Sigourney, what's her name?
I know this one.
You know what I'm talking about? Oh man, why am I blanking on it?
It's alright. It's a Winona Ryder.
Winona Ryder, yep. It's got Winona Ryder, and then and some other fairly memorable character actors. But fun movie. There's some cool effects in it. Like I think it's mostly CGI they use for it, but it looks pretty good for like what year was this? 2004 or something like that.
It was early 2000s.
Yeah, early 2000s. It looks pretty good. Like the scene that's super memorable to me is like you get to see the xenomorph swimming underwater, which I always thought was really cool looking.
Yeah, it was that scene.
Yeah, it's right there in the
But that's. Who else was in that one? I was trying to think.
There was a guy that I've
the guy that
an
the
actor.
Hellboy.
Yes, What is his name? I can't remember. Ron Perlman. Yes, that's who I was thinking of. I couldn't think of his name.
But yeah, he's awesome in it. Oh, they're all awesome in that.
It's a good movie. It's a fun movie. Like I feel like it doesn't take itself as seriously as the first three movies.
It's like a cheesy action.
It's more like a cheesy action, like just fun, kind of romp. Like I still enjoy it. You get the clone alien, half human, baby monster at the end, which then gets sucked out of the freaking tiny hole in the side of the ship, which is really cool. I mean, that's a super memorable scene as well.
Yeah, that was this guy right
here.
Yeah, that was a weird looking xenomorph.
That was it was like half human, like a xenomorph hybrid or whatever.
Yeah, that was a good one. Let's see. You want to cover Prometheus?
Yeah, we have to talk about it. I don't love Prometheus. I mean, I don't know. I know some people really like it, and it's fine if you do, but I just don't I don't think we needed to I don't know. I don't love it. I have mixed feelings about this series.
Yeah,
I saw them all in the theater. They were okay. It was kind of cool to see kind of the origin of the xenomorphs, and it definitely explained more about the space jockeys, which was cool because that was completely unanswered in the first trilogy. They didn't really cover that at all. They just kind of found them, and then they just left. Well, obviously, I mean, Kane had the facehugger on him, but they never dove into it. So it's cool to see kind of that origin story.
Was that ship in it? Was that
it's like one of those ships, like that kind of horseshoe shaped ship.
Was it the one from
that was the one from the first Alien movie? Yeah, that's what they explored when they found the eggs.
Okay.
So yeah.
I always thought that.
Yeah, it's cool that they explain that. And then, I mean, other than that, it's not. I mean, I don't know. I almost don't even consider it an alien movie. You know, it's like its own thing almost.
They kind of forced it into the film.
They did. I mean, yeah. I mean, it's got some cool moments in it, like when the main character Shaw has to use like the medical chamber thing to get give herself an alien abortion. Basically, that was pretty cool. Like,
I like the part where the two guys get lost.
Yeah,
and they throw the pups up.
Yeah,
and they like scan the
Can
area.
I say a lot of the people in that film make some very poor decisions?
Yeah,
like, and they end up dead because of it.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And then we had Alien Covenant, which I've only seen it once when it was in the theaters.
We saw it together.
And I don't remember a ton about it, but I remember being like, I don't know, it was definitely an alien movie more so.
Yeah, it was like a follow-up to the first.
Yeah, it's still very much Prometheus in my opinion.
Yeah,
but
follow-up to Prometheus.
I'd say Michael Fassbender, he plays a really good bad guy in both those movies. So I will say that. He's great at playing as David. Yeah, Michael Fassbender, fantastic job in that movie. I enjoy that. I mean, his role as David, but like
Danny McBride was kind of entertaining.
He was. He definitely. He's always entertaining. Let's be honest. But yeah, he was pretty good in Covenant.
And I think James Franco was like a cameo in the beginning.
Yeah, I think he was in the beginning of that movie. If I remember
he was
right.
Like spoiler: the guy that dies.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one was okay.
Yeah, I think those two are just okay. I feel like if you're just really watching alien movies, you can probably skip those two. It'd be
Unless
okay.
you just want to watch a mad
just watch the first four. And
android go crazy.
Well, I mean, yeah. I mean, like I said, Michael Fassbender is great in that movie. So if nothing else, watch it for him. But on to the newest one, Romulus.
Yeah, that one just came out last year.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, we saw that.
So
I don't remember too much, even though I saw it twice.
Yeah.
So I know it starts out, there's the terraformed planet.
So it's cool because it takes place in between the first movie and the second movie. So in between Alien and Aliens.
That's right.
So it's a different cast of characters on a different planet, and they're like stuck in this mining contract, and they want to escape. So they got to find these, what do they call those? Those pods that like life support pods.
Yeah.
So they can go to like they can travel a long time in space.
Mm-hmm.
And so they go into this space station that's been stricken and fallen out of orbit. And it turns out there's aliens on board. Obviously, that's where we get that going. But I thought it was. I really liked that movie. Actually, I liked a lot about it. Although, spoiler alert. I mean, it's fairly new. I guess we got to do the spoilers. But the ending, I did not enjoy. Where they brought in like the Prometheus, like dude, like
the tie-ins.
Yeah, we didn't need that. Like, we could have just made it.
That could have been a deleted scene.
It could have been. Like, I just don't like. It was a fine alien movie until that point. Like, it had some really cool moments, like where the gravity was going on and off, and like.
Well, they're supposed to do Alien Awakening, and that was supposed to be after Romulus. No, not Romulus. After Covenant.
And
then they canceled it, and then now that Betty Alvarez got to do Romulus.
Yeah, Romulus.
And then it was. Great.
I mean, like I said, overall, I think Romulus is a good movie. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, I like Andy.
Andy was great. He was a great character, great actor. I don't know the guy's name, but he was great.
Probably the best part of the movie.
Yeah, he really was. Like he was really good. Also, you get some other cool moments, like I said, the gravity going on and off, and like the aliens, like acid blood swirling around, and them having to avoid it while floating.
That was a good jump scare. That was, you saw the people hived up.
Oh yeah, that was really cool too.
Towards that scene.
Also, you get some kind of more insight into the aliens themselves, the xenomorphs themselves, because like you find out that the face huggers like hunt by like heat signatures. Yeah. And so like that point where they raised the room temperature so it matched their body temperature, and like they were masked from the face huggers. That was pretty cool.
Yeah. I enjoyed that one. That one was good.
Like I said, the ending I did not enjoy. They didn't need to bring the Prometheus thing into that. It was a perfectly fine alien movie until they did that. I feel like we didn't need that last scene. And I think it was all just to kind of like parallel the first movie, because like she's the final girl at this point. She gets in the spacesuit and she's running from the big monster. I don't know. I could have done without it. I think it was a fine alien movie until then.
No, what do you think of? No, it's not out yet. But what are your hopes for Alien Earth?
I hope it's good. I hope it's something a little different.
Show.
All I've seen is that teaser trailer. It just looks like CGI, so I have no way to really judge.
They released a couple.
Oh, did they? Okay, I haven't seen it yet. I'm definitely gonna watch it because I watch every new Alien thing.
My friend thinks it's gonna be a talkie kind of show.
It might be. I don't know. Let's hope it doesn't turn into Walking Dead for aliens.
Yeah, I hope they actually do puppets like they did.
Yeah, like actual like
because Romulus did that. The puppets,
the suits and the puppets. That'd be cool.
That's what I liked about Aliens was all those.
Oh yeah, it was all practical effects. And 79 when they made the first one, they didn't have CGI, so.
And it really makes you kind of think, that movie. Like, it's like,
Yeah.
what if there are creatures like that?
I guess there could be.
Like, on other planets. I mean, I believe in aliens, so. Yeah.
One more thing to talk about.
Okay.
Not a movie, but for the 40th anniversary of the original one, 2019, they did a series of shorts. You can still watch them on the internet. I think there were like 5 or 6 shorts. They were like 10 minutes long. And I absolutely love those shorts. Those shorts are excellent.
They had high budget.
They had definitely, there was a lot of, there's like I said, there's like 5 or 6 all made by different filmmakers. And like some of them are better than the others, but they're all really good. I mean, if you don't have enough Alien content in your life, go watch those. And they're really good. Like just Google Alien 40th anniversary shorts.
Yeah.
And you should be able to find them still. Like there's a couple of those that are really good. Like there's one
I like
called.
the one with
yeah, go ahead. Yeah, which one do you like?
Well, I'll go and then you go.
Okay.
My favorite was the one with the female android that
Yeah.
raises the face hugger.
Yeah, that one was cool. My favorite one was called Ore, where it's about like this mining planet and they discover an alien down there.
Oh, yeah.
And basically like the lead protagonist is this like middle-aged woman and she has like an adult daughter and grandchildren, and she like rather than like risk having an alien go up the elevator and follow her, like basically her and her mining buddies like take a stand and they try to fight the alien. But you don't see what happens. Those shorts are really good. So yeah, I can't say enough about those shorts.
Yeah, I hope Alien Earth is that good.
Let's hope so. I mean,
It's a
you would
big
think.
budget.
Yeah, you would think these are independent filmmakers. I'm pretty sure they made those shorts. So
Yeah, man, yeah, such a good franchise.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to mention AVP?
I mean, we can talk about it. Here's the thing: that series gets a bad rap, but I think the first one's pretty good. I like it.
Yeah,
Like,
the first.
I have
one,
no qualms with that first
Lance
movie.
comes back as
It's Bishop,
Bishop,
the actual person.
Yeah,
But I have no qualms with that movie. The second one's a little dicey. The what is it, Requiem or whatever? Like.
oh yeah, that one.
With the Pred alien. Well, the problem that movie has like fundamental flaws because like the lighting was way too dark the whole time.
Yeah.
You could never see what was going on in it. Like that movie has flaws. Obviously, I'm sure a ton of people on the internet have talked about that.
The only cool part was the Pred alien.
I mean, yeah, that was pretty cool looking.
He's
I mean,
fully grown.
yeah, that's about it. It's, in my opinion, it's not even really worth your time. The first one though was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I like the first one. Like I said, it's not it's not quite Alien or Aliens level, good.
It's more action.
It's more actiony and it's more lighthearted. It's kind of fun. It's cool to see the aliens and predators fight because that's been a thing for a long time.
Yeah,
We've always
were
wanted.
like comic books.
Well, yeah,
and
back in
novels.
like the early '90s, Dark Horse had the original run of Aliens vs Predators
And that was
comics,
before the movie.
and that was '92. So like the movie didn't come out till like 2006 or something like that. So yeah,
it was early 2000s.
yeah, for sure. So yeah, I enjoy that movie. Is it canon? I don't know.
I don't think.
I don't care.
Some
It's
people
fine.
say it is, but fight me.
Yeah, exactly. I don't care. It's a fun movie. Turn it on. It's kind of
It's kind of a
mindless.
choose your own time like Halloween.
Yeah, it kind of is. I mean, it takes place on Earth, though, so that was kind of the first time we saw the Xenomorphs on Earth.
That's the Blu-ray anthology.
Anthology. First 4 movies.
Yeah, it's beautiful. It's funny, I got this movie, or I got these, I had the DVDs, I upgraded, and I got rid of my DVDs, and I remember I bought Killer Party or something. It was like, and it didn't work, so I took it back and got this.
It's it
was a good trade.
Good trade right there, yeah. Can I say that I had the original trilogy on VHS?
Yeah, you had the VHS.
And what's funny is one of the last times I watched it, which was still years ago because I haven't had a VCR in that long, but one of the last times I watched the first movie, just to put it in to check it out, the film itself was faded because I'd watched that first movie so many times.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's how it is for Halloween for me.
That makes sense, yeah.
Halloween.
I'd watched the first movie so many times.
Well, we covered pretty much everything.
Yeah.
Is there anything else you want to mention?
Just that I can't recommend those shorts enough, those 40th anniversary shorts. Go check them out.
Yeah, those ones definitely do. I want to say, like, final thoughts for me. I just don't think any of this would have been possible without Hans Giger,
Oh, yeah.
who was the artist.
Yeah.
And
I mean, that's
he
the
pretty
art.
much birthed the Xenomorph.
The art is so distinct in this movie. That's one of the things. The Xenomorphs themselves look so distinct. So,
Yeah.
yep.
But yeah, definitely one you gotta check out. This is probably the longest horror talk yet. It wasn't quite horror, but let's switch it up a little bit.
I consider the first movie to be horror.
First one's the least horror.
100%.
But yeah, if you like these horror talks, let us know. Let us know what you want to see in a future horror talk.
Yeah, what future horror talk would you like to hear us talk?
What would you like us to cover? Did you like the video? Those kinds of things. But don't forget to like, subscribe, and I will see you when I see you.